In today's political climate, are you as sick of hearing that phrase as I am? It's really hard to talk about fill in the blank, especially in today's political climate. I'm not really sure that some of these things were easier to talk about before. People are just more at risk of getting attacked, maybe. Hey there, it's Unapologetically Bria Bea, and welcome to Bria 365, a part of Madison 365. I am so glad that you were here. I would like to talk about political conversations because in today's political climate, it's a little awkward having the most basic conversations, and sometimes you have to make a choice, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're at Thanksgiving dinner with the fam, and like you're sitting over there, you know, living your best life, and across the table you hear people starting to question your humanity, whether or not you deserve basic human rights, things like that. It's a little taxing, okay? But sometimes the personal is the political, do you hear me? And people start sort of bringing up whether or not you deserve to exist in their world, you know? And that's when things get awkward, and that's when you have to decide, am I gonna put myself out there, you know? Am I gonna stand up to everyone and say, no, this isn't cool? Or am I gonna sit back, eat my cornbread, and bite my tongue? Okay, so today, I wanna talk about how to avoid political conversations. I'm all for having hard conversations, but not every second of my life. I am not a walking, talking, like op-ed website. No, I am. I definitely am. But I don't want to fulfill that role at all times. Sometimes I'm just trying to be a food blog, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm just trying to critique scandal. I have 3 very practical tips for you when you are stuck in a conversation that you don't want to be in. It happens to the best of us. It happens at dinners. It happens with your like Lyft or Uber drivers when they just like start talking about things and you're like, I don't know when I signed up for a debate, but here I am. Here are some tips for you to avoid awkward political conversations that you ain't even asked to be a part of. Number 1, drown them out, okay? Are you at home? Is it Sunday morning? Is it time to clean your house? Start blasting some Kirk Franklin. Start blasting that music so you don't have to hear the bigotry coming into your ears. If you really don't like gospel music, you know what I'm saying? I think a little Biggie Smalls will do. If you're in a car, just crank it up. At the club, just back up like 10 feet. You won't be able to hear them anymore. It's just a foolproof strategy. Number 2, the hard avoid. Okay, this is intentional, okay? This is just a straight shot away from whatever they were talking about. I worked at camp for several years. I worked with a lot of kids at camp, and we often were told that if people started having conversations that were a no-no, that were camp inappropriate, you don't say like, hey, like that's not okay to talk about, because they just keep asking more questions. So instead you just jump in and say, what's your favorite Disney princess? And then they start being like, and this is why Belle is the best princess in the history of Disney princesses. Except they all say that new one, the one with the blonde hair. I'd be like, Tiana, am I right? This is a technique that I learned to use for 10 to 16-year-olds, but I'm pretty convinced that it can work on full adults. You just have to shift the question, okay? And this might get you into a fight, but you have to ask them, you know, how do you feel about Beyonce? Go ahead and start that conversation. The 3rd tip that I have is to just run, Get Out style. You know what I'm talking about. Just start running. Just get out of the situation so hard because, first of all, we all need to be training for the we all need to be training for our impending doom, first of all. Second of all, you're gone and they can't say anything, you know what I'm saying? You run to the store, you run to your car, you run to Alabama. Whatever you need to do, don't run to Alabama. Don't do it, okay? Don't do it. Run somewhere else. Get out of there because you didn't ask for this, all right? You didn't ask for this, okay? Like I said, it's important to have important political discussions, but far too often, people think that like one's humanity has 2 sides. The validation of human beings does not have 2 sides. And so political conversations are often those conversations. And sometimes I don't want to do it. You gotta do what you gotta do. I gotta do what I gotta do. These are my suggestions for you. You know what I'm saying? Start working on those quad muscles so you can get out of there when you need to. That's my advice from me to you. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed that video. If you want to see more videos like this, you can go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Bria Bea. I post there on the semi-regular. And if you want to follow me across the internet, you can find me almost anywhere at Be Unapologetic. That's BEA Unapologetic. And while we're here, why don't you go ahead and follow Madison365 here on Facebook and on YouTube and on all the other platforms. The links will be below. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have an incredible day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.